it is the funniest thing in the world because usually you hear a player like that and you're like, oh, he only knows how to play carry heroes, right? And actually, he has specialized in Rexar, Dazzle, and surprisingly enough, Geomancer. Remember when I first introduced him to the game of Dota? He was like, well, I'm really a StarCraft player. I don't really like this idea of Dota really much. And I was like, well, that just means you have a whole lot of micro ability, right? The ability to micromanage. He's like, yeah, I suppose I really do. But, okay, there are two heroes that you should learn how to play, and Dota will be fun. Geomancer and Chen. He's like, well, I don't really like the idea of Chen because you have to work so hard to get creeps and keep them alive, and yeah, I don't really like that. But he was attracted to Geomancer. And he has taken the play of Geomancer to the next level, in my opinion. He is just a crazy Geomancer player. Because he really, really has a good understanding of the hero. Like he's like Yaphit's to Shadow Fiend, is the only way I know to put that. And it looks like we're going to have a push finally happen by the Sentinel on the middle lane. And I think everyone on the Scourge has a TP scroll. Right? Everyone has a TP scroll? Everyone's going to teleport and defend? I would assume that. And it looks like we're going to finally be able to get this tower the rest of the way down. Winter are doing, like I said, using the minion to just sacrifice and kill the creeps. It's a good strategy most of the time. And now is a good glyph burn. They burn the glyph and they're able to get in position in time in order to get their heroes in there. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to quite defend it. Clock is in here on the dying by himself. His team has not been following up with his cogs very successfully. Earthshaker does go in and promptly gets banished. And Enigma pops in here, grabs two heroes with his ultimate, and nobody is hitting them though, so it's not really doing a whole lot. And dying, I believe, is going to go down, as is the Obsidian Destroyer. He's going to banish himself at the last second to try to save himself, but I don't think it's going to work out well. And he does go down. And Sentinel's push did not quite work out the way they wanted it to, and Winter smartly decides that, yes, I do need to go defend my top lane. And Batrider tried to get a good initiation off on the Enigma, but unfortunately his team was unable to follow up, and it looks like Witch Doctor went down as well. Actually missed the kill on Witch Doctor. And Syllabear has picked up a Blade Mail. Now, I like Blade Mail on Syllabear because he should be the one Sentinel is trying to focus down pretty quickly. So, maybe they're just going to go mass Blade Mail? No, Clock has gone, what? Clock about a BKB. Whatever. Just nothing to say. I've been wrong on the item progressions for this entire game, so I just have no more strong opinions anymore. And Sentinel is trying to delay long enough for their heroes to respawn, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough. They're definitely going to lose the tower, and I think they may lose the racks as well. Because it's only 3v5 right now, but the Scourge does not have any of their big AoE ultimates right now, so if Sentinel can make a go for it right now, they would be okay. And Lone Druid is definitely going to go down here. He does no longer have the Aegis. And wow, that's going to be really, really bad for the Scourge team. It looks like they're going to get the Clockwork as well. This is going to be huge. All of the AoE power for Scourge is down, and all of their big initiation is down, and now I think that Sentinel could possibly capitalize on a push if they wanted to. Maybe not. They've only got 60 seconds to get here, and they have to go through big creeps. No, they're not going to be able to do much. They're just going to be able to restore the equilibrium on the creeps and try to set up for the next team fight is probably all they're going to be able to manage at this point, which is a little unfortunate. But hey, take what you can get. Unfortunately, they did lose their racks, which is going to hurt quite a bit because now they have to babysit 2 lanes instead of just 1. So I don't know how Sentinel's going to be able to pull this off. They're going to have to get a miracle team fight and one great setup for a push in order for this to work. Because Scourge has all the cards right now. If they just wait for Enigma's ult and ES's ult to be online and go for one more push, it's all over. They just need these 2 heroes to combo once, get 2 or 3 heroes out of the picture, and it's going to be close to GG for the Sentinel. So, despite this Bristleback not doing a whole lot, or being a little underwhelming as it were, it's turned into Scourge's favor anyway. He actually has finally started to pick up some damage. He's got a Demon Edge for what it's worth. I don't know, maybe he's just going to make a Divine Rapier for the lulz. I know I'd be tempted to. But actually, if he were smart, he'd probably make a Monkey King bar or something. And Sentinel is gathering middle. It looks like they would like to push middle if they can, get that rack sound and get the equilibrium back for at least one lane. And Obsidian Destroyer does so much damage. Did you see that? He did 200 pure damage. On top of how much does he do? 200. He does 400 damage a hit. 400. That is more than Drow Ranger. Oh my goodness. That's more than Shadow Fiend. That is more than Medusa. That is more than anyone. So just seeing the power of Obsidian Destroyer in late game, and he doesn't even have all of his items yet. This is stupid. So, actually, take back what I said. Sentinel has quite a few advantages left if they can capitalize on them. I think they're going to be able to get rid of this bear and mitigate some of that. No, not quite. They have managed to get the equilibrium pushed into their favor for the middle lane, but they're losing it in the bottom lane, or excuse me, the top and bottom lanes, actually. So they need to get this Rax quick if they're going to get it at all. They need to stop worrying about the heroes and just get in here and get this Rax. But at the same time, they don't want to get ulted, but... Oh, yes, their ults are actually back online. ES and Enigma both have ults again, so Sentinel is actually wisely being cautious. It looks like they're going to get Enigma before he's able to do anything. This is going to be huge! Sentinel could win it right here! There is no AoE stun for the Scourge unless Enigma buys back right now. His team is in a lot of trouble. I believe Syllabear's going to go down as well right here. Even though he has his Blade Mail turned on, the Sentinel's continuing to target him. And actually, it looks like this is Bristleback going to go down first. ES trying his best to save his Bristleback, but not going to be enough. Bristleback goes down. ES may go down as well. Bristleback buys back. He charges in. His Syllabear's running out with half HP as well. They're going to try to turn this around. Sentinel's really low HP. They're going to have their work cut out for him to take on their Bristleback and Syllabear again. But they are going to get the Rax before anything else happens. And it looks like they're going to try to get the Syllabear down. No, he turns on his Blade Mail and they're forced to get their AoE off. And they're going for this Clockwork, who is now low HP, is running away. ES back again for more action, gets down a couple of good fishers. They take out the Clockwork. He hooks in, tries to get something to happen, but isn't able to. And Bristleback gets caught with Batrider's ultimate. And no, there's nothing that Scourge can do. This is going to be GG right here. Oh, man. What very good play from this Batrider. Wow. Wow. And wow again. Just completely destroyed the enemy team. Actually, Enigma is back up. They might be able to make something happen. They don't have their Bristleback, but they do still have their Syllabear. They're going to have one last opportunity to win this game. And see what's going to happen. Clockwork is waiting. His hook is probably still on cooldown. There's a good fisher. Enigma going to blink in an ult. Yep, there's the ult. It only gets one hero. He waited a half second too long for it to work. Obsidian Destroyer is just going to get healed. He's going to banish himself, and then the rest of his team's going to pop in here and get everyone killed. Actually, Batrider goes down to a Blade Mail on the Syllabear, but ES goes down. I think Syllabear's going to go down to the zombies, and I think Enigma's going to go down as well. And Syllabear's going to live, but it's not going to be enough. There's 3 heroes down. Sentinel has... Everyone's still alive. Obsidian Destroyer lives that whole thing. They're going to kill off this Earthshaker, and they're going to turn around. And yes, now they can go for the throne. There is nothing that Syllabear's going to be able to do. He may be able to try for a little bit, but it's going to be too little, too late. There's 1. There's 2. Gray's going to come back. Gray is Bristleback, so they're... nope. This is it. That's a game. But Scourge still hasn't called GG yet, so... Syllabear is going back out trying to get something done. So is Bristleback, but it's just not enough. They don't have any of their supports. It's just not going to work too well. Bristleback's going to go down. Then Syllabear has his Blade Mail turn on. He's trying. He gets the OD down, but Sentinel just ignores him and goes for the throne. So yes, GG has been called. And wow, what a game! Wow, what a game! Oh, that was down to the wire. Oh, that was an intense game. I have to give complete props to this Batrider. He had a lot of good initiations to set his team up, especially there at the end. Knocked off the Enigma before he was able to get bring his ultimate to bear, and just able to give his team the advantage that they needed to continue to dominate. So I'm very impressed by this Batrider from Numcast. I haven't heard of Team OSI, so I'm going to be looking for more replays from these guys, because it is no small feat to take down the M5. Oh goodness, it is no small feat, but I'll grant that they were without Vigos, but still, no small feat. Props to this Witch Doctor as well, recognizing that he was being ignored, picking up Aghanims. So, wow, just poor. I think this really just comes down to the picks and a little bit of poor play from the M5. So, before I go any further, if you don't want to hear my final remarks, go ahead and close down the commentary, and we'll see you later. GG, guys, for those tuning out, and we'll see you next time. And for those of you still sticking around, we're going to do a little bit of final game analysis, because I didn't really do a whole lot of band pick analysis other than to just go over them a little bit, but I talked about a little bit. This Bristleback and Syllabear on the same team is a big mistake. This is a huge error on the part of Dread, because you do not want to pick 2 or 3 or 4 Radiance carriers and then have one of them get it and leave the other one out in the cold. This probably killed Bristleback's game, to be completely honest. It really just... he shut down one of his own heroes, and it's his own fault for doing that. That's probably the reason that they lost this game, my opinion. If this Bristleback had been someone else, if this had been, I don't know, a Morphling or a Centaur or something else that could do more than just be an AoE threat, a small AoE threat without a Radiance, this game would have been a whole lot different. I'm very, very impressed with how the Sentinel played. They did a lot of even split on the farm in between the Windrunner and the Undying, and the Witch Doctor actually had spread out the farm a little bit. Actually, not Windrunner, Batrider. Spread out the farm a little bit so that they could all get a good item or two. Undying wisely spent his gold on Django and Vladimir's to enhance the push for his team, and Witch Doctor did a very, very good recognition, noticing that he is not the focus and was never the focus in any of the team fights. So just pick up an Aghanim, he would drop his cask, his Maledict, and ult, and he just sit there every team fight. I didn't talk about it a whole lot because it's kind of hard to see it and everything happening, but if you go back and watch this again, you'll see that Witch Doctor just gets to sit there and ult for a solid 5 seconds just about every team fight. And despite Obsidian Destroyer making some unorthodox item choices, I like the mechanism of the Shiva. I am not a fan of this Bloodstone. I would have made this an Aghanims and called it a day. But other than that, great play from Sentinel. I am extremely impressed with OSI. So look to see more of these games for me in future commentaries. And we'll better luck next time, M5. Make better picks, Dread. I'm disappointed. Alright, well, that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Pro Dota commentary. This is Wolfo signing off.